better. We're lucky that he's with us.
Jonathan Fagan, Houston Chronicle. What sort of challenge is it, if it is, to try and work on the things you want to work on, address the issues that you might want to have addressed, when you're playing these tune-up games and winning by 30, 40 points? Is that a difficult challenge? Is it a challenge?
Well, one of the main things, again, every coach has, I don't look at it as challenges, but things that you have to get done. And, a challenge is what Craig Sager's going through, and how magnificently he's going through it. But you don't practice, you don't have many practices, and, the games, we're trying to get our guys in shape. And I think we have gotten in better shape. We have 4 guys who were in a championship series, and it's tough to get over that. It's just very difficult to get over that, and I think they are now. They are in a good position, and then just to get to know one another. I think it's helped us. We want to continue. People say, well, what challenges are you win by 35 or 40 points, and I'd rather answer those questions than boy, you eked it out by 8. So hopefully we can keep that going. But the competition is going to get better. I mean, really good. We play 2 games against teams that we've beaten, but they'll be a little bit different in China and Venezuela. And then we play Australia, who is very good. They'll probably start 5 NBA players. And then you play Serbia, and we know them from the World Championships, and with Teodosic and their big guys. And then you play France, who'll probably have 8 or 9 NBA players. So it goes up. It goes up, and we have to react accordingly.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. Obviously, last Olympics and even '08, by the time you left, you had guys who had played a lot of games for you before and were maybe used to this. When you leave tomorrow, do you talk them through more stuff? Is there anything you'll do differently this time around, knowing when they get there it's the first time for a lot of them?
Yeah, we'll give them feedback, and we have done tape and some level of practice or individual work every day to try to get accustomed to each other. Put a simple system in that they can use, but they can also make their reads. Tomorrow, it'll be, we leave tomorrow. So they'll be able to get recovery things, set up times for them to lift, get shots, things like that. But a lot of times that's what they need more than a practice. A practice. They need to get back to their individual routines so that they'll be in better shape. And then, we leave tomorrow night, and then it's off, hopefully, to a gold medal.
Marina Mangiaricina, SB Nation. I was just wondering, because I saw the game against Venezuela, they played a lot of a slower pace, and really in this game, Nigeria was really able to kind of speed up, or they played a much quicker pace, and it was kind of more a successful game for you. How do you control the pace in a game when a team is going to try to kind of stagnate you like that? And would you say that's a weakness of Team USA?
I don't know if it's a weakness, but it was something that your question is right on about Venezuela, and we talked about that in the last couple of days with our team. We actually showed them about 10 sequences where they stopped our fast break in the back court with fouls. And so they took away flow. Another thing that they did was try to jam our defensive rebounder with the outlet. So those are, it's a different game then. And instead of getting in that normal rhythm, we have to create rhythm with a better half-court offense. And so we've been working on, we didn't have to use it as much today, but we've been working on sets that we can go to in that regard. Because you're right, they took away the flow. I don't know if it's a weakness as much as it's something we have to adjust to. That was new. That was the only time in the 5 games that anybody did that.
Joining us, obviously, is Carmelo. We can open up the questions for him, too, please. Coach, you mentioned the newcomers, DeAndre Jordan, obviously being one of those. What have you thought of his adjustment to this game? Obviously, playing, you can play inside the cylinder, and just his progression during these exhibition games.
No, he's been really good, and it gives us a 1-2 punch with DeMarcus and him, and then a different punch if you want to use Draymond. They're all different, and when DeAndre's running the court like that, he makes people go with him, and that opens up areas for us to drive and some 3-point shots. His defensive stuff is terrific because he not only blocks shots, but he can defend the ball screen real well, even if he switches. He was down in his stance and doing it. He's we're lucky to have him on our team.
This is for Melo and for Coach K, Calvin Watkins, ESPN. Your thoughts on how DeMarcus has played in these 5 games? This is his first real international competition in a sense. Just what you've seen from him.
Well, DeMarcus helped us when you're talking. I think you said DeMarcus, right? Yeah. I didn't hear you as well. DeMarcus, helped us win the World Cup. He is 13-10 in the gold medal game, and so I've coached him before. He knows international competition. I thought tonight he played really well, and he has played well. But he ran well today, and he really defended out on the perimeter. It's just something unusual for those big guys to be out on the perimeter like that, and they're adjusting to it. But and then he gives us a low post threat, and he'll pass out of there too. He's very unselfish.
Taiwan Mixon with God Mix News. This question is for both Mr. Anthony and Coach K. Now, both of you are playing with not only great players but great coaches. Talk about the camaraderie between both. What are some things you all feed off one another, and being so much talent on the coaching staff as well as on the court? What are some things y'all do to balance everything out?
That $20 I paid you to ask that question worked, didn't it? What a great coaching staff we have. For me, I love working with these guys, and I just think we're honest with one another, and we trust one another, and we're all on the same page. I think that's the way. It's as simple. I don't know what Carmelo.
For me, it's more of a respect factor, and just being, able to open ourselves up and be held accountable. Being willing to put the work in with those coaches and just utilizing, that this great staff that we have.
Carmelo, you didn't go for 37 in 14 minutes, I guess, like the last time we played him. What's it going to take to kind of get the scoring going and
He was our leading scorer tonight. He did all right.
I don't. I mean, for me, it's just
37 the next time.
I know. I set the bar too high. For me, it's just more about repetition and just finding the rhythm. Not so much of a scoring rhythm, but a rhythm with playing with this different group of guys. Finding your place out there on the basketball court, the flow of the game, knowing where to be at on the court, knowing when to attack, when not to attack. But for me, it's just more about having fun, out there playing the game of basketball and not putting that scoring burden on my shoulders that I have too in my own respective team.
Carmelo, Coach spoke earlier about the amount of international experience that you have and the amount going into another Olympics. How do you see your role in the team now different from perhaps your first time in the Olympic team?
I think it's the same. I think it's the same to go out there and, to be myself, not trying to be nobody else, not trying to do more than I have to, and just do, a little bit of a lot, when it comes down to it. So for me, I feel comfortable in these situations, and regardless of what type of game and style of play that each team is going to bring to us, I think I've seen it all over these years, and that's what I bring to this team is that experience.
Jerry Broad, when Socket called, it looks like tonight your defense, especially rebounding, it was your priority to push the ball up court. Is that something you're looking to do to continue with the games?
Me or Coach? As players, we kind of set standards before the game amongst ourselves, and defense and rebounding was the key tonight. We wanted to get the ball out quickly, get up and down the court, kind of just find our pace of the game. Early in the game, they try to slow the game up. We got to get used to teams over there, taking away our fast breaks, stopping, the stoppage of the game. But we'll get used to that. Today was just more about defensively talking, communicating, rebounding, getting the ball out fast, quick. And you saw different lineups out there today, without Kyrie and without Paul. So you saw a different, type of team out there throughout the whole course of the game.
Two more questions.
Carmelo, obviously about the last couple Olympics, you had played so many games with the guys, only 5-time games here. How do you feel it's coming together with so much new players, and how much do you look forward to the process tomorrow? Now you're done with going different sites, now you're actually going to the Olympics.
This is the exciting part. Knowing that we about to go to Rio, we're about to just lock in kind of one location, and we can just really focus on playing basketball and getting better individually and as a group. For me, this is a very exciting time to just get there, get settled, have a couple days before before the first game, get those reps, get used to kind of just being in Brazil, being in the gyms over there, and as a team, I think you're gonna see a much different team over there once we get these reps underneath us, once we get comfortable playing over there in Rio.
Maurice Bob, Slam Magazine. Melo, before you walked in, Coach K expounded about your leadership and how you actually exceeded his expectations in that arena. As you look, to leave towards Rio, what are some of the most important things you're going to make sure you pass on to the newer guys in their first, time going for the goal?
Well, the leadership just comes natural for me. It's, I think, people are kind of putting a lot on it because now the whole world is seeing it. For me, I do it every day. It's natural for me. It's genuine. It's not nothing that I'm forced to do, and I'm forcing myself to do. I do it every day, all day. I'm the same person. I'm the same guy. Nothing changes about me. Now it's more visible to you guys, so you guys are seeing it, a little bit more than you guys see it, in my own respective team, my own respective season. There's no cameras in practice and things like that. Now we have practice where it's open. You guys get a chance to see how we react with one another. So I think that's the difference. I think you guys are starting to see, more of me doing that rather than, my own season.
Carmelo, you said your role hasn't changed over the 4 Olympics, but how about just the familiarity of having been through all this, these different styles of international basketball? How do you feel just personally at this point?
I actually feel excited about kind of this journey we're about to take on. A new group of guys, a much younger group of guys than I've before I was one of the young guys. Now I'm kind of one of the elder guys on the team who's been around the block a couple times. And, so for me, the excitement is still there, to know that, we have an opportunity to do something special with a new group of guys, new faces, of our country. And for me to be a part of that, I'm excited about that.
All right.
Thank you.